Caliber, smooth bore, lance pattern musket. But a soldier like myself would have more affectionately referred to it as the brown vest. Two reasons. First reason is that, well, it's brown, go figure. Second reason is that vest is a common name in England at this time, and it was said that when a man took the king's shilling and left his wife and his family and went off to war, he would take vest to be his constant companion and his bride. And when that man went on guard duty, he went dancing with vest. I think it's cute too. As I said, this is a smoothbore weapon, which means the outside of the gun barrel you see here is just as smooth as the rest of the gun barrel is on the inside. Do you folks know what rifling is?
Yes.
If you do not know what rifling is, raise your hand and I'll explain. No shame in that. We're all here to learn something today, aren't we?
I do.
Yeah, there you go. See? No shame in that. Anyway, rifling is the groove spiral to today's gun barrel. Sort of spin the bullet on itself or as it travels down the gun barrel, much like how you would throw a football with the same spiral motion. What that does is it gives a bullet greater accuracy and range. This, however, does not have that. This is a smoothbore weapon, which means that instead of the bullet spinning on itself as it travels down the gun barrel, essentially when I fire a musket ball out of this gun, it basically bounces down the gun barrel. And the trajectory of the last bounce before it leaves the gun barrel is the direction in which it flies or departs. So trying to aim with this gun is really more of a guessing game than an art or a science. Although rifles did exist at this time period, they were rather expensive to produce as well as quite problematic to use and maintain. So they would rarely, if ever, be issued to regular infantrymen like myself. First problem being with a rifled weapon is that you'd have to take your musket ball and feed it all the way down through the rifling of your gun barrel to the bottom of the barrel, which is quite time consuming, and you could probably only load and fire a rifled musket about once a minute or so. With this gun, I can load and fire 3 to 4 shots in a minute, so it has a much greater rate of fire. Also, rifled muskets were more susceptible to fouling, and by fouling, I'm referring to the gunpowder residue that remains inside the gun barrel after every firing. Eventually, with continuous use, even with this gun, if I do not clean it, eventually I'll be unable to get the musket ball down the gun barrel whatsoever. The problem was magnified in rifled weapons and had to be cleaned far more frequently and had a less of utility on the battlefield itself. Although they did have their disadvantages, rifles did have their one main advantage, and that, of course, is its accuracy and range. With a rifled musket, I could pick off an enemy soldier with relative ease at about 150 yards distance or so, almost every time. With this gun, the maximum range is 150 yards, meaning that when I pull the trigger, the projectile will travel 150 yards downrange or until it hits something. Very, very, very inaccurate weapon. That being said, today I'm going to load and fire my piece for you. So the first thing I do is to take my hammer here and I pull it to half-cock. It's called half-cock because it's said to resemble the head of a rooster. Now, if you don't see it, I don't see it either, and I work here. Square right by me. Next, reach in your cartridge box and pull out a bite and tear cartridge. Aptly named because it's a cartridge and well you bite it and tear it to get it open. Am I getting too technical for you? Take that, bite, or spit out. Take some powder here, fry in the pan, close the prison, cast the gun about, and pour the rest down the barrel. It's actually a requirement of French as well as British armies at the time to have 2 teeth in opposing jaws, specifically to use the bite and tear cartridge. Men of Napoleon's era would actually knock out their 2 front teeth to avoid being drafted into his armies. And given the outcome of Napoleon's campaigns, Egypt, Russia, to name a few, I can't say I blame them. It's probably a good choice on their part. Next, take a 69 caliber, lead musket ball, fit the shotgun fiber wad, and put it in your gun barrel. They don't let me fire a live ammunition anymore because, well, the ships out there really do not appreciate holes in their bows, as it also is quite illegal. So I like to keep my job, so I'm not going to do that today. So put that in, take my ramrod, give that to oil ramrod. Ships in the harbor. Anyway, now, this next step is very important. Take your ramrod out. Yes, sir. Take your ramrod out. Very good. If you didn't, I could do one of 2 things as you fired it. It could explode your gun barrel because the ramrod's inside it, or if you're really lucky, it'll sail downrange and hit and kill an enemy soldier. That, of course, comes with some problems of its own. First problem being is to just find your ramrod. Without it, you cannot get this gun to load for the life of you. So, for the rest of the battle, you're stuck to 6-foot club, because this really is not good for much else. Also, as a British regular, I was responsible for the maintenance and the care of my weapon. So if I lost or broke my gun in part or in whole, I had to pay for it. If I lost just this here, I would be docked 3 months worth of pay to replace it. I don't make a whole lot of money, so I'll be sure to put it back. Now that I've loaded my piece, I'm ready to fire. The 3 commands to fire: make ready, pull your hammer to full cock, reset in the general direction of your target, and give fire, which speaks for itself. On make ready, you might want to cover your ears, as this is quite loud. Make ready! Reset! Give fire! Sorry about that. I got some books of people down there. You might have noticed, I looked away as I fired. The reason for that, too. The reason being is that it's a safety hazard. Sometimes when I pull the trigger, it could send sparks of steel flying from the prison here into my very own face, blinding me. I don't want that. Usually the command to aim wasn't even given with these smoother weapons, because the Lord knows you probably couldn't hit one particular soldier even if you tried. That's the muscle for you. Any questions? Yes, sir. No,
You said it was bouncing side to side.
yeah, the musket ball that I would fire out of this would be a 69 caliber, this is a 75 caliber barrel. The reason for that is you want to get more shots out of the gun before you need before the fouling becomes so great that you can't get the musket ball down the barrel anymore. So basically, we try to get more use out of the gun, and a smaller bullet would allow you to do that. But it also made it more inaccurate, so that's why it would bounce out of the gun. Any other questions? Nope. Well, if you like that, I'm sure you'll love the cannon. So, get about face to the rear.